So EBITDA is a term that gets thrown around a lot when you are thinking about buying or selling a business. But the way I like to explain EBITDA is it's basically a metric that helps us determine how much it costs to operate your business over time. Because there was a time where investors didn't calculate EBITDA. And what they would do is they would look at a business and they would say, okay, how much is the net operating income? How much does it cost to run this business? And the number might be $100,000 a month. I see that the business costs $100,000 to operate, and it's making $1 million every month. So boom, this is going to be great profit. I'm going to jump into this. Now, over time, savvy investors, the ones who really do thorough underwriting and check for the numbers, realize that if they didn't account for the interest, the taxes, the depreciation, the amortization, which is what all those acronyms in EBITDA stand for, right? The earnings before all those things, they might be walking into a bad deal because they aren't accounting for the fact that over time, the interest rates on some of the debt might be not worth the business, might be eating too much into the net operating income, or just make it so it's too difficult to have wiggle room to reinvest in the business. Like basically, they would realize they didn't have as much money as they thought they did because they weren't accounting for the debt and the taxes and the interest and the depreciation. Say you find a business and it's using very vital equipment, but what if the equipment's on its last legs? If the depreciation of those assets weren't accounted for, then it might be like, okay, yeah, this business is making good money now, but as soon as this machine breaks, we're effed. So savvy investors realize, hey, we need to know how much it's going to operate to run this business over time, not just today, but in 10 years. What can we expect to break down? What loans can we expect to have paid off? How is this company servicing the debt that it has taken on? Those are very important figures because it helps create a more realistic snapshot of the operating costs of the business. So if you are thinking of selling your business, one of the first things you're going to want to make sure you present and have available is what your EBITDA is, the earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization. Now, if you have a small business, like if your business is, the revenue is like $1 million or less, then what you're going to present is not necessarily a full-on EBITDA, because EBITDA are for professionalized businesses, aka larger businesses that tend to have more than one shareholder, more than one owner. But if you're running like a small business that's generating like $1 million or less, then what you're going to be presenting to investors and potential buyers are your seller's discretionary earnings, your SDE. And it's similar. It's kind of like a micro example, but basically it's how much you're taking as the owner, because what buyers and investors are going to be looking for, especially with smaller businesses, is first of all, are your finances in order, right? Do you have your P&L? Do you have your cash balance sheet? Do you have your taxes? Do you have your SDE or your EBITDA? They're using that number to figure out, if I invest in this or if I buy this, is it going to pay off? It's really simple. All we want to know is if the math is going to math. So that is the importance of EBITDA. That's the best way I explain EBITDA. I think that in the acquisitions investors world, there's so much like jargon, but I like to just explain things simply. So if you are interested in selling your business or acquiring a business, you can definitely book a call. We can talk and I can help you explore your options. I'm an M&A advisor. I sold my first company at the age of 25, and since then have been helping other people buy and sell companies themselves. So if you have more questions about this, if you want to learn more about how the process looks and what your options are, definitely book a call below, and I'll see you.